Hello, Dr. Kithari.
Hi, hi. Hey,
Yes,
Sourish is here. So,
excellent.
I have actually in a meeting, so you can do the work. Okay,
Got it.
thank you.
Got it. Will do.
Hi, Matthew.
Hey, Sourish. How are you today?
I'm doing good. Can you? I need some more. So you want to give me? I need some help on the functions for transformations.
Good. Do you want us to go through that worksheet that we were working on the other day? Do you want us to continue with that?
I already well I it's well I well I did a little bit and I did my test because a little bit is good because it's not even due, but it's only homework, but just a review for the test.
Okay. Is there any other assignments that you want us to work on?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll work on some transformations. We'll actually be doing some similar stuff to the worksheet. Is there anything else you'd like to cover today besides transformations?
That's no. And by the way, I have homework. But it's due at Wednesday. So I want to do it Tuesday because today, we're free. We're good.
Is it at all possible to get a picture of it? You can either
Okay.
send it by email.
All right. I'll just send a picture, and then we'll just work on. We'll just work on. If we can't finish, then we'll just work on it Tuesday to finish it.
Absolutely.
Okay. I'll go to ask my dad.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, did you see it?
Yes, I see that you sent over some stuff. I'm going to download those and upload them into my Google Photos, and then I'll share them with our screen.
Yeah.
So this will be great. It'll be a lot better for us to do something like this.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
way it's. So just give me a moment here. I'll let you know everything's uploaded, and I'll share my screen here shortly.
Mm-hmm. He's getting it.
Yep, we're all good here. So let me grab the first one here,
Okay.
and I'll definitely let you know what to write down. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me share my screen. And this is great. This is exactly what we need to be working through to best help you here. All right, so I'm going to share my screen, and we'll get started.
Okay.
So it's a sketch a graph of the function using transformations. Include a sketch of the parent function and show each transformation on a separate graph. And then, so basically you have to do each one. So we're looking at the absolute value function.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I need to, okay, there we go.
You don't have to write any of this down. This is just for you to know the absolute value function. Okay.
Okay.
So what I'll do is I'll try to indicate when you need to write something down by putting it in the same color as the worksheet you've got there. Okay. So the only transformation is this value of 2, and it's 2 units up.
2 units up.
2 units up. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the parent function
The parent function, right?
for the absolute value of x. Yes. And we're going to graph this, but we're going to look at the parent function first. So the ordered pairs you want to choose are right here. And the absolute value of -2, I think you told me this the other day, I think we actually already went through this, is 2. The absolute value of -1 is 1. The absolute value of 0 is 0. The absolute value of 1 is 1. And the absolute value of 2 is 2.
Okay, do I have to write it?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so again, like what I'll do is I'll snip in when you actually need to graph or write something down. And I'll do it on this here. Is that okay? So we want to graph these ordered pairs. We want to graph -2, 2. This is really a small graph. -1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, and 1, 2. If it's okay with you, I'm gonna just zoom in a little more here. So let me see if I can actually get all of it together. Yeah, let me see if I don't know, maybe that's not any better, but what I'm hoping you see is that it's a V.
A
Do you see
V?
that? A V? It's a V shape.
Yeah, yeah.
You follow that? So
Mhm.
you have to get that graph down.
Okay. In the parent graph, right?
Yes, exactly.
My pencil was unsharp. I need to sharpen my pencil.
Go ahead and take care of that.
Okay, I sharpened my pencil.
Great. So let me know when you have this graph down.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
You got it?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so what is the transformation for this particular graph? It's written down.
The transformation is okay. The transformation is negative 2.
No. Up here. I'm just asking you to read this out loud. Identify and describe the transformation.
Oh, okay. Do I have to write 2 units up?
You do need to write that down. Yeah. If I write anything on the actual background, you have to write it down.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so 2 units up. So
So that's the transformation. You just say, Matthew, the transformation is 2 units up.
okay.
Okay.
All right.
So up only affects the y value. So you add 2 to this y value.
2 to the y value.
2 to the y value. So the x values stay the same, but you're going to add 2 to each y value. So you're going to add 2 to this number, 2 to this number, 2 to, and so on. So what is 2 plus 2?
4.
Okay, and then 1 plus 2 is 3, 0 plus 2 is 2, 0 plus 2 is 3, 2 plus 2 is 4. Now you definitely want to get this table down.
I get the table down.
Yes, you want to write this table down on the right here.
Okay, let me check. Okay. So I have to write this at the bottom, right?
You want to, yes, somewhere you should include that. Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Let me know when you get that down, please.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay, so we want to graph these points on the final graph. See it says final graph there?
Mm-hmm.
So we want to go.
I'll grab that. You don't have to write for me, but I got it.
Okay. Do you want me to graph it to check your
Hold on,
work?
hold on. I'm just getting on it. I'm just getting on it. I'm just almost done.
Okay.
Okay, got it.
Got it. Okay. So the question here, the next questions are B, C. We're going to answer from the graph. So I do have to actually graph this. I know you you wanted to do it on your own, and that's fine. It should look something more or less like that.
Okay.
Okay. Now the vertex, and again, keep in mind, I'm drawing on your paper again, so you definitely want to get this down. The vertex is it's either this point if it opens down, or it's this point if it opens up. It's either the top or the bottom. So on your graph, do you see that the vertex is there at 0,2? That's the point where it V's. Do you see that?
Yeah, so the vertex is 0, 2 because it's at the middle.
Well, it's always wherever the two lines come together.
Ah, okay. And the domain,
Yeah, so the domain for all, this is for all absolute value functions. The domain is always all real numbers. Or all
Okay.
X, basically any X you want. It could be any X value, no problem.
All right. So, okay. All right.
Okay,
So
and then
now,
the range is what's the smallest Y value, and it happens at the
so all real
vertex,
numbers, right?
not for the range.
No, I was thinking the domain.
Yeah, the domain is all real numbers.
The range is 2.
The range is whatever number is whatever it's bigger, whatever Y is bigger than. Okay, so see how the smallest number that Y can be is 2, because that's the vertex, the Y value here. Everything, see how everything is above this line?
Yeah. It's
It's all the Y's, but they're bigger than 2, because 2 is the lowest that it can be. Everything is above this line. Do you see how all the values that we're graphing are above this line?
yeah, I already got that.
Okay, you got that down?
Yeah, I got that down.
Excellent. Okay, so we're actually going to move to question 6 because it's more like the one we just did, and we want to do all the absolute value ones together. So if you could flip your paper over to question 6, we will look at that next.
Okay.
So question 6, it's yet another absolute value. It says name and write the equation of the parent function. That's Y equals absolute value of X.
Okay, let me just. So now we're at number. Where are we now?
Number 6.
Number 6. Actually, we're in a number. We're in number 2, by the way.
We want to do these in a different order than they're given for learning. We want to do them where you do the same type of question a couple of times
Okay,
here.
fine.
So
All right. Okay.
it will definitely help here.
So what do I write? 1 equals X.
This
Y
is the-
equals X.
This is the absolute value, isn't it? It's 2 vertical lines.
Yeah. So it is -1.
Well, no. This is just asking for the parent function.
Hmm.
The parent functions are x squared, y equals absolute value of x, y equals 2 to the x. So we have to match them up with the right one here. So do you see how the original has the absolute value? Do you see that?
Yeah.
So that's why we say the parent function is the absolute value.
Okay.
Okay, so this time there are two transformations. Let me know when
Alright.
you're ready for us to talk about those. Let me know when you're ready.
Yeah.
Does that mean yes, you're ready, or no, you need more time?
I just need some time.
Okay.
So for that, what transformations are present, you're saying? Okay.
Yeah, we're ready to talk about those whenever you're ready.
After I write that problem.
I want to work on these with you. So whenever you get y equals absolute value of x down for the parent function, we can move on to transformations.
The absolute value of x is 2x, I would say.
No. So the first transformation is this 1/2 that's out in front. So this 1/2 out in front is the first transformation. You see that, the 1/2 in front of x? So what that does is it compresses or shrinks. Do you remember which word your instructor used, compress or shrink? Sourish, do you remember what? Your instructor probably used one word or the others.
Okay, I know. All right, so
Which word?
compress, shrink by 1, 2.
Yeah, 1/2. And it's a vertical. Do you remember though if your instructor, which word your instructor teacher used?
Shrink. They didn't write compress. That's a new word.
Okay, so they said shrink.
Mhm.
Okay. And then the next transformation comes from this -1,
I'm gonna write that.
and that means down 1.
Okay, let me write that, Matthew.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Got that.
You got that down? Great.
Mhm.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to graph the parent function. So this is actually a copy of what we did from the previous problem here, but I'm going to snip it in anyway, and we're going to graph the parent function. So the parent graph is y equals absolute value of x.
Okay.
And that's this v. So let me know when you get that down, please.
Okay. Okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Can we move on from this or not?
No. I need to finish it.
Okay. If you want to start cooking sooner, that's okay with me also.
All right, I already did it.
All right,
I
great.
got it.
Great. Let's move on to the first transformation. Here's the first transformation, and we got to start with that table here, X and Y. So we got -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2, 2, 1, 0, 1, and 2. The first transformation, can you read that for me from above? What was our first transformation?
Our first transformation for that is down 1 unit.
Well, that's the second. Didn't we say
Okay.
vertical shrink by 1/2? The order does matter. So
Okay.
if you put down one first, you wanna switch those.
Okay.
Okay, so a vertical shrink
The vertical shrink. Okay.
by 1/2. What that does is you take your Y value, you keep your same X value. Your X values stay the same, but your Y value, you multiply by 1/2. So 2 times 1/2 is 1.
2
1
times
times, yep. And then you take this next Y value and you also multiply it by 1/2. Then you take this next Y value, 0, and multiply it by 1/2. Then you take this 1 and multiply 1/2, and you get 1/2. 2 times 1/2 is 1.
Okay.
So that's our first transformation. We're graphing these transformations one at a time here. So I'm going to grab in a graph here, and we're going to graph this transformation. Okay. So I would include this table in your worksheet there. I would definitely copy this down. It's showing your work.
Okay.
So go ahead and copy it down and let me know when you're all done with that.
Okay.
How are you doing on that?
I'm doing it. I'm just trying. I'm just doing it. So I'm just writing it down. Okay.
All right, so the next thing is to graph this. So this is that middle graph next to the parent function. So we're going to graph these points on the right here. So we're going to go -2, 1, -1, 1/2, 0, 0, 1, 1/2, and then 2, 1. So it's a little bit wider, but it's still a V.
Oh, I'm just writing it.
Say that again.
I'm just writing it.
Okay, excellent. Let me know when you get that all down.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that all down. Okay, got it down.
Excellent. Okay, so we have one more transformation to make with this one. So the next transformation is we're going to take the table that's on the right, and what was the second transformation that we talked about, that we wrote down. Do you remember? What's the second transformation for this one?
The second transformation.
Yep.
Second transformation for that one. It's down 1 unit.
Down 1. So what down 1 means is you have to subtract 1 from the y values. The x values stay the same, but you're going to subtract 1 from each y value. So it's like 1 minus 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. 1/2 minus 1 is minus 1/2. 0 minus 1 is minus 1. 1/2 minus 1 is minus 1/2. And then 1 minus 1 is 0. So you want to get this table down. This will be the last table for this problem, but we're going to then graph the next, we're going to graph this next transformation. It's actually the final graph.
Okay, I'm just gonna write that down.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just writing it.
Yep, no problem. Just let me know when you're done. Are you almost done? Because we got to get the final graph down.
Yeah, I'm almost done. All right, got it down.
Great. So now we got to graph these points. Okay. So we got to just, each of these is an ordered pair. So -2, 0. Okay. -1, -1/2. 0 minus 1. 1 minus 1/2, and then 2, 0. And again, it's just moved down 1 unit. So it's going to look a lot like the previous one. It's just down 1 unit.
Okay.
When you get this down, we'll move on to the vertex and the domain and range.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting it down. Just got it. Yeah, I already got that down.
Excellent. Okay, so now we can move on to the vertex. So that vertex is it's that bottom point, or that or that top point. It depends whether it opens up or down. So the vertex is actually this point right there, which is the 0, -1 value. We just read it off the graph. There's no work to do for that.
Okay.
Okay, so the domain is again all real numbers, no big deal on that one.
Okay.
The range is y greater than, and the reason it's y greater than, it's because the absolute value opens up. So the graph.
Oh, what was that sound?
I apologize for that.
What was that sound? Matthew?
Yeah, so let's move on to the range here. The range is y greater than or equal to, and it's the smallest y value. So the smallest y value is
Okay,
-1.
yeah, I'm just writing it down. Okay. The range. All right, got it down.
Great. So I'm just looking at the rest of your problems here. We're going to start one more problem at least. It looks like you did not send everything. Like I'm seeing 1, 2, and then like I don't see 3 or 4, but I see like 5 and 6. And then I don't see 7 and 8, but I see 9 and 10. Is there more to this? Like, did you only send some of the pages?
Yeah, there's also more.
Okay. All right. So let's do this. Let's do that one. I guess we're going to do either one. Okay. All right, we'll go back and we'll start 2.
Okay.
There's a lot here, so hopefully you can get some of it done in class as well, because there's quite a bit to do. All right, so again, we're going to 2. So again, there's only a couple of parent functions that you care about. There's y equals x, y equals x squared, y equals absolute value of x, y equals 2 to the x.
Okay.
So this right here gives away what the parent function is. The parent function this time is y equals x squared.
Y equals x squared.
Yes, and this time there are 3, count them, 3 transformations.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna just write down the 3 transformations here. Vertical stretch by 3. The second one is a reflection
Vertical
over,
stretch by 3.
yep, over the x-axis. And then the third one is up 3 units.
Up 3 units. Let me see. Okay. So
go
we're
ahead
doing.
Yeah, go ahead and make sure you get these 3 down, and then we're going to graph the parent function and probably stop for today.
We're number 2 finally.
Yes, we're back to number 2.
It's okay not to write y equals x2. Matthew?
Yeah, anything that you see on the background, which is your paper, you want to write down.
So it's okay to write y equals x2?
You have to, because that's the parent function.
Okay, can you I need to can you show it to me? In number 1, can you show it to me?
For number 1, it's y equals absolute value of x. It's this one here.
Okay, for number 1, let me just write that.
Okay.
And what about for 6?
it's already, I already had written it down here for you.
Ah. Mhm. Okay.
Okay, so let's get these 3 transformations down for 2.
All right. I'm writing it down. By 3.
Yes. There's 3 transformations: vertical stretch by 3, reflection over the x-axis, and then up 3 units. All right, and the very last thing for today is to graph the parent function, which is this U shape. See how that's a
Okay.
U shape?
Mhm.
And that'll take us to the end of our lesson whenever you get that down.
Okay. I'm just writing that down. Okay.
Excellent. So I think your dad said we would chat next time. So great
Okay.
job
So
today.
at Tuesday, we're gonna be finishing all of this.
And if you have time, work on it in between. Thank you so much, Sourish. Great job today. I'll see you next time.
All right. Bye. My dad's at a meeting, so bye.